Joining us on the telecast is Dr. Selvamurthy. He's a Chief Controller R&D, DRDO, joining us on the telecast. Thank you so much for joining us on the telecast. And my first question to you is, in 2024 budget, rupees 6.2 lakh crore was allocated to defence. What are your expectations in 2025?
The country is moving towards Viksit Bharat. Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji has given a vision by the year 2047, when India will be celebrating the 100th year of independence. Our country should have become a developed nation, Viksit Bharat. So in which all sectors, science, technology, social sector, everything need to contribute to this transformation of India into Viksit Bharat. So in this space sector is going to play a very significant role. So that is why in this budget 2025 to 2026, this current fiscal budget, which is going to be released on 1st February, this space is going to get, I'm very confident, that a very prominent place, because it has proven the Department of Space, which has Indian Space Research Organization ISRO, and also the other InSpace and IIST, that is Indian Institute of Space Science and Technology, they have performed so well that certainly Government of India will augment the space budget very significantly. Because today, if you look at the budget, it is about 13,000 crores, which is a little more than 30,800 crores, close to 14,000 crores. But considering the missions which have been lined up, like if you look at the Chandrayaan 4, that is going to be there, like Chandrayaan 3, we successfully completed in the previous year. And then now we are looking at Chandrayaan 4, which is again going to be a big mission in which the spacecraft has to land there and then bring samples, bring it back for analysis. So a lot of scientific studies have been planned. So Chandrayaan 4 is there. Then
All right. ISRO and DRDO remain organizations with budgets significantly lesser than NASA or other agencies. How do you think has ISRO managed to do this?
the human capital is very important, because ultimately the ideas generation, how do we do things in a cost-effective manner, spending less money, be it the Mars orbiter mission, or it is Chandrayaan 3, Chandrayaan 2. We have done it at a cost which is minuscule, maybe 10 times less than the cost of NASA has spent already on these type of missions. So one is the human capital in India is very high. I would say that there is no parallel in terms of human capability, intellectual capability. That is one. Then the second thing is that we have evolved mechanism by which you can economize the energy consumption during the flight. So using this, you can reach higher targets with least energy and least cost. So the cost effectiveness has been the forerunner in the ISRO's all missions. Similarly, the DRDO has also done extremely well in terms of strategic programs, missiles, aircraft, radars, sonars, torpedoes, main battle tank, armored vehicles, arms and ammunitions, and high energy materials, every sector, and life support technologies, as well as nuclear, biological, chemical defense technology. So when you combine the budget of even DRDO and ISRO together and compare it with NASA, is much smaller. But the capability which we have built, now the game changer which this government of India has brought under the able leadership of our Prime Minister, is that how do we bring in private sector, be it in defense, for the manufacturing, and even in research and development. The things which can be done by industry, why should DRDO do it? So now it is being given. So we are developing horizontal growth and capability at the national level instead of keeping it only with the government and government laboratories. So this is the strategy by which we are able to compensate or optimize our performance in terms of the comparison what we have between Indian scientists working in DRDO and ISRO as compared to the other scientists abroad, including NASA and other countries like even the Russia as well as European Space Agency.
Along with the ISRO, DRDO too has become a major revenue earner. What do you think needs to be done next for space and defense R&D to become propellers for India's economy?
The space has got application in every sector, be it in agriculture. You can tell the farmers when to when seeding is to be done. So the whole agricultural practice you can be assisted, including agricultural economy. That how do you market your produce? So all this using the space as well as the information technology, we will be able to give the benefit to the farmers. Similarly, in telecommunication, there are places where you cannot have the landlines, and then you need to have either the mobile phones or satcoms, satellite communications. So the telecommunication is another domain in which it is very important. The space sector plays a very important role, the spectrums. And then the telemedicine. If you look at how do you give the expert advice from All India Institute of Medical Sciences in Delhi to a place in Gangtok or in Ladakh, how do you give this expert advice to the doctors over there? So you can use telemedicine, again space-based telemedicine, or even to a naval person, naval soldier who is now on board ship, naval sailor, that if somebody falls sick, how do you bring the best advice from either the DGAFMS, the military services, or from civilian sector, the expert guidance and advice through telemedicine. So there are tremendous application of telemedicine through space and also in education. The whole education through the satellite, you can communicate and then download the informations which could be used for education at all levels, including at the higher education. So there is every sphere, if you look at space, has got an application. Similarly, security, national security, all these long range missiles, when you say Agni, if it has got more than 5,000 kilometers, it's a strategic payload, it can carry a nuclear payload for more than 5,000 kilometers, but then you use space for that. Similarly, space-based security for surveillance, to keep a watch on our borders. So any new structures coming, what is the position of the enemy operations close to the borders, all this can be observed from the Earth observation satellites and also strategic satellites which we have put there, military satellites. So it has got a strategic application also. So space is being used, and then if you look at anti-satellite missile like ASAT, Shakti, Mission Shakti performed by DRDO, it is also related to space. And then now they are working on directed energy weapons, and also we are looking at high power lasers, high power microwaves, so that this could be used in terms of looking at how do you protect as a deterrent for our satellites. Then the debris management. So there is a tremendous opportunity available. So that is why I am very confident that looking at the possibilities and also the market which is growing, the CAGR in the space economy and the global market is 6 to 8% growth, which is very huge. So that is why with all this, the government of India will certainly look at augmenting the budget for both space as well as for the Defense Research and Development Organization, because there the canvas is much broad, DRDO. So that is why if they are getting about 20,000 crores, it's not adequate enough because the canvas is much wider. So I'm sure this budget will see the augmentation, a significant augmentation in terms of budget for space as well as for the.
All right, Dr. W. Selvamurthy, thank you so much for joining us on the telecast and sharing those insights.